Well, hello everybody. I am thrilled to be here. My name is Lisa Blueswick, nicknamed Lisa Longball, and I am here for the Golf Town Spring Refresher Clinics. So I started these clinics 2 years ago over when the pandemic had started, and boy oh boy, I started from my basement, and for the last 2 springs I've done some fun videos, and I've been thrilled with all of the comments I've received across North America of people saying, oh my gosh, Lisa, I love your tips, I've learned so much. People have reached out to me and said, Lisa, I've added 20, 30 yards to my drive. I've dropped my handicap by 10 strokes. People telling me that they love the flamingo. So I am here to get you ready for the spring. Now, I know we have people across the world that are already playing golf. Those of us in Canada who aren't, we're very, very jealous of you. So for pretty much in all of Canada, we're waiting for our courses to open, except for in the Vancouver area, Vancouver Island. Oh, they are the only place in Canada that has year-round golf. But for the rest of us, we need to knock off some of that rust to get us ready for this spring. And for those of you who are already golfing, these are going to be some great tips to help you get the lowest scores you have ever gotten in the 2022 season. I can see there's so many people joining us. Crystal, hey there, thanks for joining. Marie, hey, it's so wonderful to see you. Jean from Massachusetts, woo, love it out there. And I see Linda is here from Ottawa. Thank you so much for joining. I love it when people tell me where they're from, and it's so exciting. So ladies and gentlemen, everyone who's watching, I am here to help golfers get better. So we're going to go for 5 weeks. This is week number 1. It'll be every Tuesday at 7 p.m. live, but it will also be posted on the Golf Town Facebook page, my Facebook page, and also the Golf Town YouTube channel, and my YouTube channel. In case you miss anything, you can go back and rewatch. I also see Jennifer Howdy from Kingston, and Lynn from Reno, my buddy Lynn, wonderful to see you, and Christine, come back to Phoenix. I can't wait to come back to Phoenix, Christine. All right, well, let's get started. I don't want to waste any time. So warm up. One of the things that is super important to get prepared for golf is warming up. Now, I know that there are people that come screaming into that parking lot and they're literally doing their shoes up on the way to the first tee box when they're going to play golf. Throw a heart in the chat. If that's you, if you barely make it to your tee time on time, throw a heart in the chat so I know who you are. But here's the thing. I used to be that person too, where I scrambled just right before my tee time to get out there. But here's the problem. If you don't warm your body up, I guarantee you're not starting to hit good shots until the 4th or 5th hole. I want you hitting good shots on the first hole. So give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes before your round, I'm going to show you a few stretches that I use when I prepare for my regular round of golf or even for the World Long Drive Championships. So these are some things, some techniques that I promise will get you hitting better shots on the first hole. So a few of the things that I do, I start with simply shoulder circles. When I do the shoulder circles, I'm not just kind of whipping my shoulders around. I'm trying to get the tops of my shoulders underneath my earlobes. So I try to do 10 backward shoulder circles followed by 10 forward shoulder circles. Another stretch I do, I take my arms straight. You can't let it bend. Take it straight across my chest and I pull it in towards my to my chest. Hey, if you're at home right now, try doing some of these stretches with me. See if you enjoy them. And then I do it with the other arm as well. I typically try to hold my stretches for about 10 seconds apiece. The next stretch that I do, I use my club, and this is fantastic if you've never done this. Take your golf club, put it behind your back. What you're going to do is you're going to pull down on your bottom hand. Pull down on the bottom hand, and that's going to give you a great stretch up in that shoulder and upper back area. Then, after 10 seconds, I want you to pull up with your top hand. Pull up, and you can feel that, and it's again, great stretch for the shoulder rotator cuff area. I love this stretch. And then I'll switch hands, bottom hand up top hand on the bottom, and then I repeat, again, holding each for 10 seconds. That's a fantastic stretch. I just want to say, I see David here from Strathroy. Stretches are important, David. Thank you. I'm glad you see that. And Jean, doing it. Thanks for doing it while I'm doing it, because I think that's going to help you on the course. So we've done our shoulder circles, we've done the arms in front and behind, and the club. The next thing you need to stretch are your sides. Now, for those of you, I want you to throw a heart in the chat if you are a left-handed golfer. All my lefties out there, 23% of all Canadian golfers are left-handed. Apparently, we have the biggest population of left-handed golfers in the world. Why? Hockey. Apparently, it's hockey there. So, again, a lot of people are right-handed, so they like to skate down the rink with the stick in their dominant hand. They go left hand low, so they shoot left in hockey and then enjoy shooting left in golf as well. So that's why we have so many lefties. I'm seeing the hearts light up there. So here's the thing. So whether you're right-handed or left-handed, you're always swinging on the same side of your body. I'm going to teach you as these weeks progress how to add distance to every club in your bag. And the key is being able to turn, creating rotation. To do that, you need to have your sides warmed up. So a great stretch I do for my sides, I go club above the head, I lean over to the one side, really trying to stretch my arms out as I lean sideways. Again, typically holding that for 10 seconds, and then I do it to the other side, really actively trying to stretch out. Another great stretch for your sides, Throwing the club down in front of you, feet together, go hand on hand, bring your hands to the one hip, hold that for about 10 seconds, and again, bring the hands over to the other hip. You're gonna love that stretch. And I guarantee it's gonna help you make a better turn on both sides of your body, not just one side. I see Jan has joined us from Salt Lake City, Utah. Woohoo! Oh, thank you for your beautiful note, Jan. I so appreciate that. All right, so again, stretching those sides are really, really important. Next thing you need to stretch are your legs. Holy cow, if I had $1 for every time someone, pointed out my muscles like, hey Lisa, 2 tickets to the gun show. Holy cow, hitting it long has nothing to do with bicep strength. I could do 1,000 push-ups 1,000 times a day, and I could do 1,000 bench presses with 250 pounds 50 times a day, and it wouldn't help me hit the golf ball 1 yard longer. Why? These are small muscles. You want to focus on the big muscles in your body if you want to create distance with all of your clubs. What are your big muscles in your body? Legs, glutes, core. These are the muscles that you want to use. And again, if you think about it, and when I go to one of those corporate and charity golf tournaments, and sometimes I'll stand on a golf hole and hit balls for guests, and as soon as I see a guy come up and he's like swinging out of it, and it's all arms. When I see him go all arms, I kind of giggle to myself and I'm like, got him, because I'm all legs, and I will teach you that over the next 5 weeks, but we need to warm up those legs. So a great stretch for the legs, I go feet shoulder width apart, nice straight legs, do not bend your knees if you can, and leaning forward. You can even rock side to side a little bit as you're leaning forward. Another great stretch is even to put your leg up on a bag stand or a chair and lean forward. That's a great hamstring stretch. Again, holding those for about 10 seconds a piece. Now, if you're coordinated enough, or you can also use your golf club, here's another great stretch. I want you to put your ankle, or kind of calf, or shin, on top above your other knee, and kind of try to sit down. You'll feel a great stretch in your glute area there. You'll really like this one. And then again, you can switch clubs, or switch hands, should I say, and then put the leg on the other leg and try to sit down. A deep dive bend there, and I'm here to tell you, you're going to feel that in the glutes. Colleen, I see you in from Newfoundland. Oh, I have not been to Newfoundland, the only province in Canada I haven't been to yet. And I see John. Oh, go Lisa, go from Manitoba. Thank you so much, John. So again, those are really important stretches. Now, this stretch is the most important stretch. If you don't want to do any of the other stretches, although I hope you do, this stretch to me will help you gain distance and prevent injury. This is the one stretch I beg each and every one of you to do before your round. So what I would like to see you do is have feet shoulder width apart. You're going to stand with the club at chest height. Keeping your feet planted, I want you to start to turn and look behind you. As you're warming up, I want you to look a little bit further, and a little bit further, and a little bit further. And as that back warms up, you're going to be able to see, you're going to be able to turn all the way around. This is a great stretch to do before the round, or sometimes you get stuck on a long day that's like a 5-hour round, and you're standing on a par 3, you haven't hit a full swing in about 25 minutes. Do that stretch. I promise you, you will have more consistent golf shots by doing that, and better golf shots, because again, you're warming that back up and you're allowing for that rotation to happen. You will love it. Add that to your routine, and then also in the middle of your game, if you're feeling a little tight or haven't swung a full swing in a while. Susan, I see you're in there from Thunder Bay. That's wonderful. Mindy, thank you, Mindy, for joining us. She's with from Chicago, from the Lincoln Park Zoo. Thank you so much. She was in Phoenix with me. I have a women's golf school, so that's fabulous. And Ruth Ann from Ontario, from Barrie, Ontario. Thank you, thank you. So all of those stretches, golfers, doing that 5 minutes, that whole routine takes me about 5 minutes, and I promise you, you'll be hitting better shots on the first hole versus the 4th and 5th hole, all right? So there's some key warm-ups there. Now, warm-up is the first part. What's the next part we need to talk about? Grip. Fundamentals. My coach, Paul Horton, who's a PGA of Canada instructor, award-winning national instructor, has always talked about whether he's working with brand new golfers, whether he's working with his PGA Champions Tour players, he's always working on fundamentals. And I do want to tell all my viewers, please make sure you take lessons from your PGA of Canada or PGA of America, wherever you may be in the world, your PGA of instructors, your LPGA instructors, your certified instructors, because they're going to help you get your scores down the fastest. Although I know you love your spouse, usually not the best person to take lessons from. I've seen the divorce open happening many times when that happens. So again, make sure you see your PGA instructor. Now, so with grip, this is so important. Have you ever had a grip for, if you look at your glove and you get that wear mark on your glove, I used to get holes in my glove. Every few rounds I'd have to switch gloves. I'm embarrassed to tell you that, but I used to get a hole. Do you know what, you want to know why? I wasn't holding the club properly. This is the only contact with your club. It is imperative that you hold this properly. And And again, if it's not held properly, it can lead to a myriad of issues that might not even be your swing. It's just that you're not holding the club properly. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. But very quickly, I want to say hi, Jill from Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for joining. I'm thrilled that this is so helpful for you. And I see Michelle from Winnipeg. I'm excited to get out there too, Michelle. All right, so let's talk about grip. Here's the key to grip. The proper way, the way you need to hold the golf club is it needs to be in the base of your fingers. So many golfers make the mistake of having it in the palm of their hand. And I see this a lot more with ladies than I do with gentlemen, but still I see it with the guys. But I see it has to be in the base of the fingers. Now, what's a little drill that you can do to make sure that you get that club in the base of your fingers? I call it the suitcase or briefcase drill. So you can do this every single time with every club, and it'll start to become second nature. But what you want to do is you want to have your arms hanging straight by your sides, and I want you to bend your knees and hold the handle of the club like you're picking up a briefcase or a suitcase. However you'd hold that handle. And then if you open your hand, you will see that it's in the base of your fingers. So if you're not sure, do that briefcase or suitcase drill, and that's money. Now, the problem what I see with more of my men is I see that they tend to bury the butt end of the club into the base of their hand. That's what I used to do. So that's what I used to do, thinking it was a very powerful move. It's not. It's because what happens is, because it's not in a solid position, that club face can go any which way when it's up at the top of the swing. So here's what you need to make sure. Almost every single grip has a little cap here. Some sort of it's just a few centimeters wide, but there's a little cap or a line. What I want you to do is make sure that cap or line is under the bottom pudgy part of your hand. Pudgy, does that sound super technical? Under the pudgy part of your hand. So make sure that cap is visible under that bottom part of your hand. Then you can do that suitcase briefcase drill to make sure that it's in your in the fingers, and then you're golden. With the bottom hand, what you want to make sure you do is you want to make sure that you put it in the base of the fingers. That is key. Get it in the base of the fingers. And then you simply wrap that bottom hand over. Now, there's 3 different types of grips, and they're all fantastic. None is better than the other. It's all personal preference. So there is the 10-finger grip or baseball grip, and the key to this one is you must have your hands touching. So any parents or grandparents out there teaching juniors, I find that juniors, my son included, wanted to separate his hands. Make sure that those hands stick together if you're doing the 10-finger, okay? The overlap grip is where the pinky goes over in between the middle finger and the index finger, or the interlock. Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods do this, and that's where the pinky goes in between those fingers. All 3 of those grips are excellent. It's whatever you prefer, all right? It's whatever you prefer is most important. My only other tip for you is I do not want to see that thumb straight down the shaft. I want to see it slightly to the inside of the shaft, slightly towards your body. Why? Because here's the other thing that's super important, especially if you want distance and you want accuracy. Your grip pressure, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most out there, you should only be about a 3, about a 3. So really, at any point in your swing, you almost want to feel like you can pull the club out of your hand. Once you put that death grip on the club, tension is a club head speed killer. Tense muscles are not fast muscles. Loose, supple muscles are fast muscles. So again, you don't want that tension. So here's a wonderful tip that I use in every time I make a swing on the golf course, or if I'm teeing up at the World Long Drive Championships. So when I set up there, the first thing I do, I set up over my ball, and right before I take my backswing, I take a deep breath out. By taking that deep breath out, it relaxes my shoulders, my forearms, my hands, and I promise you, you will start hitting straighter and longer shots. If you're a slicer, so that's going right for my righties, left for my lefties, your grip pressure could be too tight. So this can help your slice if you're a slicer. So grip is super, super important. I see Carol Eldridge has joined us. Hello, hello, hello. And Rachel, happy spring to you too. Rachel, thank you so much for joining us. So again, the grip is very important to focus on that. Now, we've talked about warm-up, grip. The next thing we're going to talk about is posture. I believe I can help many of you in this small section today literally add 15 to 20 yards if your posture is not correct. So I'm pretty excited to show that. I also, Diane, she is my dear friend from Ottawa, is at Myrtle Beach right now, getting some springtime. Hello, Diane and Jim. Great to see you. And I also see Helen. Love that you've implemented the deep breath out. And Helen said it's a game changer. I'm telling you, viewers, it is. That deep breath out every time, especially if you're nervous as well, if first tee jitters, it is a game changer. Love it, Helen. Thanks for that feedback. Okay, so the next thing we want to talk about for fundamentals is posture. Now, I believe in a 4-step process to posture. You're going to learn over the next 5 weeks. I'm going to give you many, many processes. Why? Because those of you who struggle with consistency, you need to learn how to be doing the same things each and every time. And then if you're doing something wrong, by having processes, you can work back and figure out where your mistakes are. So I'm a big, big fan of processes to make sure you set up properly. So here's my 4-step process to posture. Step number 1, you need to have start with a nice straight flat back. And that doesn't mean sticking your chest out. You don't have to stick your chest out. Just a nice straight flat back and not slumpy shoulders. I think many of us we've been stuck doing Zoom meetings over the pandemic, and we're stuck on our home computers or even our computers at our offices. For those of you who are back in the office, we tend to get those slumpy shoulders, and that starts to feel normal. That is terrible for your golf swing and will limit your ability to have distance. So what you want to do is you want to, step number 1, have a nice straight flat back. Step number 2, and this is huge. Step number 2, you want to bow at the waist, butt sticks out. This is key. Bow at the waist, butt has to stick out. Can you see my nice straight flat spine? Look at this. With a nice straight flat spine, look how I can turn around my spine. This is what's going to lead to distance. The ability to make a good turn. We're going to talk about that as we advance through these next 5 weeks. So that's straight and flat back. Check this out. If you have slumpy shoulders, look how hard it is to turn. That kills your distance. So 4-step process to posture. Step number 1, stand up nice and tall. Step number 2, bow at the waist, butt sticks out. This is where my women have often been told to sit on a chair. So watch this. Straight back, you bow at the waist, but then you tuck your bum in. If you tuck your bum in, you're going to end up in a sitting position. Look where your chest is. You have no hope hitting a great golf shot here because look where your chest is. When you stand up nice and tall, step number 1, bow at the waist, butt sticks out. Now your chest is facing the floor. Now you have a chance to do a phenomenal job of compressing the ball, trapping the ball, and what I call brushing the grass. So again, 4-step process to posture. Step number 1, stand up nice and tall. Step number 2, bow at the waist, butt sticks out. Butt has to stick out. Step number 3, crack the knees. Not bend the knees, just crack the knees. And step number 4, this is huge, arms hang naturally. And what do I mean by arms hang naturally? Arms hang naturally. Basically, you just let them hang from your sockets. That's where you should be holding each and every club. So whether it's a wedge or whether you have a driver, it's exactly the same posture. Stand up nice and tall, bow at the waist, butt sticks out, crack the knees, arms hang naturally. So whether it's a driver or whether it's an iron, it's the exact same distance away from your body. And what is that distance? That distance is about a fist width, okay? So as your arms hang naturally, from the butt end of the club to your skirt, shorts, pants, it's going to be about a fist width. Now, this is where I see a huge power leak, especially for my men, but I also see it from women too. They reach, and especially with drivers. So what I see is this. So I see them set up properly. They have their ball ready to go. Okay, they've got their ball ready to go. I'm going to go out of the screen a little bit. Here we go. I think I can stay on the screen here. So they set up nice and tall. So step number 1, straight back. Step number 2, bow at the waist, butt sticks out. Step number 3, arms hang naturally. And then here's the problem. Step number 3, crack the knees. Step number 4, arms hang naturally. But there's my ball. So what do I see people do? They reach. They reach. Look at the gap here. So for those of you who struggle with consistency, I guarantee you some of you are reaching. So here's a little trick, and I know it sounds a little bit silly, but when my ball is farther away, instead of reaching, what I do, because I know I've done my posture correctly, I literally scooch. I scooch my feet up just a little bit because I know that my posture is proper. So again, that is absolutely key, because if you think about it, your body is a miracle. Your body is always trying to find neutral. That's why you need to set up in neutral. So as you come through your golf swing, when you come back down, your body's trying to find neutral. So if you start with your arms out here, it is just going to be sheer luck and athleticism if you happen to hit that golf ball properly, because your body's going to try to find neutral back at the ball. So the 4-step process to posture: stand up nice and tall, straight back. Step number 2, bow at the waist, butt sticks out. Step number 3, crack the knees. And step number 4, arms have to hang naturally. Don't be reaching, don't be reaching. I just want to say a hi here. I see that Cindy's watching. So Cindy Class in Radford, that's wonderful. And I see Christine. What about the feet width apart? Should it be hip width? Okay, so this is, that's a great question when we talk about, we're going to be talking about that with ball position. So that part was posture, but give me 1 second. We're going to get to feet width in ball position. Great question. All right, now one other thing I need to talk about in posture is women always say to me, Lisa, what do I do with the girls? What do I do with the girls? Is it arms above the girls, below the girls? Where do they go? Where do they go? And ladies, I understand. So, gentlemen who are watching, please, I apologize for a moment, but we're going to have to talk about the girls if that's okay. So what happens is, a lot of ladies have been told, oh, it's above the girls, it's above the girls. Well, holy cow, ladies, I think I'm a B cup, maybe C with Victoria's Secret's help. And look at my shoulders are all pushed up under my ears. This is not a relaxed position. This is going to kill your distance. It is not above the girls. Then I've heard, oh, no, Lisa, you want to squeeze the girls together, squeeze them together. Well, holy cow, that's a little restrictive there. And again, you want tension. If you think squeeze the girls together, that's causing tension, and that's going to kill your distance and probably cause you to slice. So you don't want to squeeze the girls together. And then I heard, oh yeah, you go under the girls, you kind of under the girls. Well, gosh, that's just a push-up bra commercial. It's not under the girls. So where do they go? Here's the key. The arms have to hang naturally. The arms simply hang naturally. So here's what I found. I found that 80% of women can't hit the ball over 200 yards. And I truly believe, depending of course on advanced age and any injuries, I believe every woman should be able to hit it over 200 yards. I believe it's some of these issues that are stopping them. So what happens with women? Women tend to be more flexible than their male counterparts. So what women tend to do, we'll get to the top of our backswing and you'll be like, oh wow, what a great backswing. When in fact, you haven't turned one bit. All you've done is lifted your arms. And we'll talk about this more when we talk about distance. But here's the problem. I'm going to teach you how to turn. I'm going to teach you how to turn that body. So here's the issue with the girls. So again, when it's stand up nice and tall, bow at the waist, butt sticks out, crack the knees, arms hang naturally. They hang naturally beside the girls, maybe slightly underneath if you're a double D or bigger. And then here's the key. If you turn versus lift, if you lift, you'll bump into those bad boys all day long. If you turn, watch. Look, the girls come with you. The girls come with you. So we'll talk about that more when we're talking about adding distance. But ladies, where do you put your arms? Arms hang naturally, maybe slightly underneath if you're a double D or bigger. Thank you, men, for who are watching, for letting me talk about that, because that's a game changer for some of the ladies out there. Avani, so wonderful to see you from our Washington area. Thank you so much for saying how much you enjoy my energy. Thank you. All right, so now it's on to ball position. Now, for me, this was driver's always been my go-to club. I love my driver. But the one I found I was struggling a little bit with my irons. So my PGA Canada coach, Paul Horton, showed me a new ball position, and it was absolutely unbelievable. This was a game changer for me. So I'm going to share that with you. Now, before I share that with you, I want to tell you this. There is not one way to do most things in golf. Almost everything in golf can be done in more than one way. Please remember that. So when I was taught to first play golf, I was taught for ball position. Let me put a ball here, and I'll show you. I'll put my club down here just so you can see. Ball position for pitching wedge was in the middle of my stance. That's what I was taught when I was growing up. Then 9 iron a little forward, 8 iron a little forward than that, 7 iron a little more forward, 6 iron, 5 iron, 4 iron, hybrid a little further, fairway a little further, and then there's one non-negotiable in golf. There's a couple maybe, but this one is a non-negotiable. Every pro will tell you this, is that the ball position for driver is only, non-negotiable, only off the instep of your lead foot. Okay, so then that's what I was taught as I was growing up. So there was a lot of shifting around. Now I was struggling with my iron contact, so my coach said, Lisa, I want to show you this, and it's just amazing. Oh, Leslie, hey Leslie, one of my California girls, thank you so much for saying that I am like this in person. I truly am. I just love golf, and I love helping people and teaching people. And Pam, I do want to come to upstate New York. I have been there, but I haven't been there for a clinic. All right, so what's the new ball position that Paul Horton taught me? Here's my game changer. So this is what Paul explained to me. Paul explained to me this. In a properly struck iron, you want to hit down on the ball, trap the ball, compress the ball. So it's a downward striking motion. So again, if you were to do it in slow motion, the club would come down on the ball, squish the ball into the grass, then the club would grab the bottom out, then you would finish your golf swing, and if there was any divot, it would happen after the ball. That's where the divot should always happen, after the ball, never before the ball. So again, you're hitting down on it, trapping, compressing, squish the ball into the grass, then the club grounds out, and then you would have that divot if you have any, okay? So that's the proper way to hit an iron. So my coach said to me, Lisa, here's the deal. physics, the lowest part of your golf swing, so where the club would bottom out, is at your shoulder joint. That's just by physics the lowest part of your golf swing. So if you want to have ball first contact and then have the lowest part of your golf swing, why wouldn't you start the ball about the width or just slightly more of the ball behind your shoulder joint? So he taught me to start the ball about 3 inches behind my shoulder joint, which would be about, if you're a right-handed golfer, over your heart or over the logo on your chest. And if you're a left-handed golfer, it would be over the middle of your pectoral muscle on your right-hand side. So basically, you want it 3 inches away from the shoulder joint, and then you're going to guarantee ball first contact. So here's the process, and you're going to love this, I promise. Okay, here's the process. What you want to do, and I'm going to put this club down so you can see it, so you can see where the ball position is. So for proper ball position, my coach Paul Horton taught me, again, I'm always a fan of process for consistency. I start by eyeballing the ball, and I'm not sure if you can see the ball here. I'm going to make sure you can see the ball on the screen. Oh, I don't think you can see it, so I'm going to back up just a bit. Just a second. I'm going to back up just to make sure you can see the ball in the screen. Oh, there it is. Now you can see it. Okay, so ball position for the way I do ball position for process, I always stand, I eyeball the ball in the middle of my feet. Then I simply move my lead foot, which is the foot closest to the fairway. I move my lead foot about the width of a club head, or 3 inches, and then I move my back foot to comfort. So if it's a pitching wedge, it's a shorter club, and so it would probably just be a little bit back. But see how that looks like it's close to the middle of my stance? And if it's a 5-iron, a longer club, I would simply move my back foot further. So again, here's the process. This is what I do for every club in my bag: irons, hybrids. I also do this for fairway woods, except driver. I don't do this for driver. So it's irons, hybrids, and fairway woods. I do this. I stand with the ball, I eyeball the ball in the middle of my feet, I simply move my lead foot, the foot closest to the fairway, by about 3 inches, and then I move my back foot to comfort. That's my ball position, and I am telling you, it made me an incredible ball striker. I was so excited by this, because then I was having ball first contact, hitting down on it, trapping it, compressing it, and then my club would bottom out at the shoulder joint. If you haven't tried this, give it a try. Now, again, as I said, there's not one way to do things in golf. If you prefer the other way, awesome. All I'm saying, give this new method a try, and if it works for you, double thumbs up, and if it doesn't, heck, at least you gave it a try. Daniela, I see you say welcome back. Thank you so much. I super appreciate that, very, very much. But yeah, so I very much appreciate all the people who are talking. If I didn't get a chance to chat with you in the chat, I will go back and make sure I comment on all the comments. So please, if I miss you, I will make sure to do that. Now, Angela, I see, what about tee shots and not driver? So I still do this. Ball position. Again, not for driver, but this is the same ball position I use whether I'm teeing it up or whether I'm hitting it in the fairway. So that is a key ball position, and I truly believe it's a game changer. Huge. Now, one other thing I'm going to add to after ball position, I'm going to add this last step to your process of ball position. And again, you want a game changer, this is it right here. So what I do is I told you every single shot in all my clubs except driver, I go feet together, I eyeball the ball in the middle of my feet, I simply move the lead foot the width of a club head, or about 3 inches, back foot to comfort, and then I fan my front foot. I fan my front foot about 45 degrees, not 180, just about 45 degrees. Why do I do this? What happens is, by fanning that front foot, it allows me to clear my lead hip. It allows me to make a better turn. Any of you who have knee issues, holy cow, knee issues or hip issues, this is, by fanning that front foot, it takes a lot of pressure off that lead knee. Now, my coach Paul Horton, I asked him, well, what if people have 2 bad knees? Can they fan both feet? He said, absolutely. So if you have 2 bad knees or bad hips or a bad back, or as we age, we lose flexibility, you're allowed to fan both feet. But you have to do the ball position first, and the last thing you do is fan the foot, so that you make sure you keep your hips square and you don't open up that hip from there. Okay, now watch this. This is the difference of what happens when we fan that foot. So right now, I'm going to have both feet forward. So everybody, both feet are forward. Feet together. I'm going to move the lead foot the width of a club head, back foot to comfort. Okay, now both feet are straight. I'm going to make a swing. My belt buckle is facing the corner of this simulator. Okay, now the only change I'm going to make, I'm going to fan that front foot by 45 degrees. Feet together, move the lead foot the width of a club head, back foot to comfort. Now I fan by 45 degrees. I'm going to make a big swing. Now, my belt buckle is facing halfway through the other side of the simulator. I've gained 45 degrees of turn, and all I did was fan my foot. I'm going to teach you in the coming weeks that the ability to make a good turn is what leads to distance. That foot fanning is money. You're going to love it. So if you don't do it, I do it with every full swing in my bag. Obviously not putting and chipping and all that. This is all for full swing. Fan that foot, you're gonna love it. Peggy, I'm now starting to get excited about 2022 golf season. Woohoo! Thank you, I'm thrilled that you love my enthusiasm. And Lorraine, I'm thrilled that you love the tips. And that is just fantastic. I'm thrilled that you're enjoying them. So everybody, that's what we covered today. Today we covered warm-up, grip, posture, and ball position. I really think they're going to be game changers. Now, this isn't it with the video. I'm going to make sure we post this up to the Golf Town Facebook page and also my Facebook page, which is at Lisa Longball. It'll also be on YouTube, on the Golf Town YouTube channel, and also on my Lisa Longball YouTube channel. And if any of you want to touch base with me, my website is lisalongball.com, and of course, I'm on Twitter and Instagram as well at Lisa Longball. Now, how fun, for those of you who have been watching my videos, I started off in my basement with just my carpet, then I got a hitting mat, and a net, and now I'm back in store. I've got a simulator now. Woo! How fun is that I get to be out, no mask, I'm maskless in here, and I'm in a simulator, so that's pretty darn cool. So I hope you join me next week. I will be here every Tuesday up until the end of April at 7 p.m. Eastern, so please join me. And again, I'm sorry if I missed you in the chat. I will definitely come back and respond throughout the week. And I also see Barbara said great tips. You're most welcome. Tammy Olson, thank you so much. Judy, thrilled that you love the tips and you can't wait to try them. And Kimberly said thank you as well. So thanks everyone for joining me. Again, I will post these if you need to rewatch them to write down any notes. But I'm telling you, this is going to start to shake that rust off, and 2022 is going to be our best season yet, golfers. Thanks very much, everyone. I'll see you next Tuesday here on the Golf Town Facebook page. Bye, everybody.